What's up, nerds? It's Train Dude here, and today I'm just gonna be showing you guys all my model trains. And believe me, there's not as many as you would expect, but there's still quite a bit. Let's get to it. Starting off with the first engine I ever got in my collection. I have dubbed this one Old Geezer, because he's old. Probably not as old as some of the other engines in my collection, but I consider him to be old. This engine is actually from my dad's original model train set that he got when he was a kid, and it still works. When I first got oh boy, when I first started playing with this, I accidentally lost a couple of the contact springs for the motor. This one has a Bachmann pancake drive, those old crummy things. And I lost a couple of the contact springs, and this thing just didn't work. And I think at one point the front light just burnt out entirely. I was able to get it fixed, and it does run now. So that's good. The next locomotive that I got is this guy right here. This is I think a GP20, or it could be like a GP9M. I'm not entirely sure. But this is an old Tyco, Kansas, Durango, and Colorado engine that I have dubbed Dummy. You see, when I first got this engine, his motor, there was a gear in his motor that was just completely broken, and he did not run at all. I don't even think there was like any wires connected or anything, but he just did not work when I first got him, and that was fun. But after a bit of finagling, I was able to get a new motor for him. While he didn't, before I got that motor, I delegated him to a dummy unit, which basically means he was unpowered. That's kind of the reason why he's called Dummy. But now he has a motor, and he can run around on his own now. His motor is still a bit weird. He's not the best runner. But yeah, this was the first locomotive that I actually bought with my own money. I bought it at the train show that happens in my town every year. But that's Dummy. Next up, we got a Montana Rail Link EMG. I think it's like an F40 PH or something. This one I got at the same model train show that I got Dummy. But this one actually worked because Dummy didn't at the time. I have dubbed this guy Marvin as, well, he's Montana Rail Link. I don't understand what's up with this 5-number thing. I think it was just the last 5 numbers of like one of those number templates that you'd get. But I honestly like this one. This one's a really good runner, and it's got traction tires, but like it can haul quite a bit. It's a good locomotive. First General Electric locomotive in my collection. This is a GE 70-tonner from the Southern Pacific that I have dubbed Big Horace. With the first batch of locomotives that you're going to see are ones that specifically are for a fictional railroad I want to create. And Big Horace, they're all going to have like characters and such. Big Horace is big-headed, a bit egotistical, and a bit full of himself. So everyone calls him Big Horace, even though he's pretty small. Yeah. He has taken some damage. At one point, he fell off the table, and this entire front part just snapped off. I was able to glue that back on, but it's... in case you can kind of see, there's just a tiny little bit of glue right there that you can kind of see. You can easily... like, this whole thing snapped off. But he runs great. He's got specifically a lower gear ratio, so he can actually, like, go slower, like how normal switchers would. But yeah. He was the first locomotive that I actually bought from the model train store that is also in the town where I live. That was fun. But yeah, here's a big one. This here is a Mantua Tyco 462 Camelback. I got this at a train show. It was a separate train show from Marvin and Dummy, but it was still a train show. This guy also didn't really work when I first got him, but I was able to get him running. The main problem is he doesn't have traction tires, and so he can't really haul a lot, because he doesn't have enough weight going onto the wheels, so he slips a lot on like even the smallest of hills. It's kind of dumb. This guy is his actual name in terms of the lore of the fictional railway. His name is Matthias, but he just goes by Camel because that's what everyone calls him. I really like the detail of this guy because he just looks good. I don't know if any like 462 Camelbacks actually existed in real life, but who knows? Here's another steamer. This is Short Stack, a little 040 Pennsylvania locomotive. One of the most marketable engines ever. This little guy, originally I had another model that was a saddle tank 440, 040, excuse me. But that one was like a pure plastic model and it broke. And at this point it's just been delegated to scrap dressing. But I eventually found this thing and it just looks a lot better and works for short stack. I did modify, the only modification he's received is that I did modify to give him a proper front coupling, because before it was just one of the molded plastic ones. And it does, the brake pipe does catch on his cow catcher, but that's fine. I think, I don't exactly, I think this was a lifelike, but I don't know. Short stack basically short temper. That's pretty much the extent of it. And since he and Big Horace are both switchers, they get into some heated arguments sometimes about how to shunt the yard or do switching in the yard. I don't know. But yeah, that's next up we got an EMD F9, I think. Yeah. This is Fern. He's also a member of the fictional railway that I want to create. He originally came with this shell. This shell, virtually identical, except for the fact that this one has the silver top. This one has more of a black to it. Also, this one is just kind of broken, so there's not much I can do about that. But I did have this other shell with the exact same number. Fern was actually one of my first DCC models. I got two from one of the guys at the model train place who was kind enough to give me two working locomotives. Fern is a little weird with her throttle. Sometimes he's a bit unresponsive, and other times he works properly. It's just that with my DCC controller at home on this layout, he just does not respond well. But yeah, this one also has sound. This is, I think, one of my only sound ones. I think the other one is the next one I'm gonna show. But as of right now, this is my only one, because the next one, well, I'll explain. Next up, we've got this Baldwin RF-16 Shark Nose, the only one in my collection. This engine I've named Clyde. He sadly does not work anymore. The story behind that is the model train place I go to has these monthly running sessions where we run the layout like we're running a real railroad. We do operations and all that stuff. And during the first one of those, he hit, Clyde here, I think it was like a crossing or something, and just died. Like, completely died. Stopped working entirely. I think I don't know what happened, but it was something with his speaker, and his motor is now, whenever I try and run him, he just starts spewing smoke. And I have yet to amend the issue, and it has been a long time since that happened. But yeah. Yeah, Clyde was the other one that one of the guys at the train place gave me. And honestly, I think he was the better of the two, but he was the one to die first. Yeah. So I've got to figure out something to do to fix this guy. I don't know. Anyways, we're gonna move. Next up, we've got this Alco C420 from the Burlington Northern. This was the first of the locomotives that were gonna be upgraded to DCC for me, but this one just had so many issues that I was given the other two instead of this one. This one, I don't know, there's just not much to say about it. I think I nicknamed this thing the crack engine because C420, 420 is number for weed, even though I'd say crack. Like, I don't know. I don't even know why I'm talking about this. Yeah, this guy just doesn't work at all. We've got this Santa Fe GP40, I think. This is a Bachmann locomotive. I picked this engine up in just a random collection that had come in that we were pretty much random collection that came in from the model train place. I just started picking through it, getting random cars, fixing random cars. And this engine just so happened to be in that collection. And it was in good condition. And it still works. Granted, it still has issues, but I think when I first got it, I had to switch out some stuff with it. But I gotta get it fixed. I think it's another pancake drive. I've got too many Bachmann pancake drives. My gosh. But yeah. This guy, it's a Santa Fe GP40. What else is there to say? Here's an interesting one. This was picked up from that same collection that I got the GP40 from. Oh, wait, that was a GP38-2. What am I talking about? Anyways, this locomotive, in case you can't see, built by Marx. Marx is like a old model train company that used to make a lot of H2O scale models. I think this is like a little, I don't know what you call it. One of those little switchers. But this one has issues, though. Fun guy, cool history, runs kind of crappy. But hey, it's cool. It's cool, isn't it? It's cool. It's a cool piece of merchandise. We've got another one of these little Hustler locomotives, as I'm just now reading on the front of it. This is actually an Athearn band drive, the only one of my collection, and I have not gotten it working yet. This is actually the only one to come with a plow, and a detachable plow at that, which I think is pretty cool. This model was actually used in my senior pictures. I picked this up from that same collection. I picked up stuff periodically over time, but this one I got when I was actually able to get some of my senior pictures taken at the model train place, and while I was there, I picked up this guy. So yeah, this guy, I think I also had this guy sitting on my hat for another picture. But yeah, just a fun little locomotive. I'd like to get this guy working someday just to see how it works. I've never really worked with Athearn band drives all that much, but I think it'd just be fun to see this guy just zipping around my layout. Small. This thing is dinky. This is I think a little Bachmann whatchamacallit? A Bachmann push handcart. It has a motor inside. It does work, but it is stupid slow and cannot connect to anything. I think it's just a little novel piece to have in my collection. It's kind of cool. I don't know. Not much to say about it. I think I picked this up from that same collection, or I might have picked it up from somewhere else. I don't know. But yeah, silly. Next up, we got another Athearn, this Union Pacific GP9. This one I like. It's good locomotive. When I first got it, the lights were for some reason flipped outside, and it took me forever to get the shell open, but eventually I did, and I switched around the lights. This is a good locomotive. It has a tiny bit of sentiment because when I got it, I ran it with old Geezer the locomotive from my dad's old set, and it was just kind of nice because it was like, look at where I started, now look how far I've come. It was just nice. Wow, look, it's a thing. Yeah, so I think I don't exactly know what kind of GE locomotive this is. I think it might be I don't know. It's a U-boat probably, or I'm not entirely sure. It's a GE locomotive, and it's a Conrail, and it has another pancake drive. For some reason, the weird thing is the drive is in the front of the locomotive, on the front wheels, instead of the back, how it is on a lot of the other locomotives I have. I don't know, I just find it interesting. This thing is not a great runner. Just in general, it's not a great runner. The one and only electric locomotive in my collection. At least I think this is an electric. I got this at an estate sale where somebody was selling off their model train collection, and this was in there. This is completely undecorated, doesn't have any of the fancy electric stuff. It's all I know is that it's an electric locomotive. It's got a really weird drive system, and the shell can come off fairly easily. But it's a locomotive. It's got issues, as do all my locomotives. But hey, it's a cool locomotive. Here is probably the biggest locomotive in my collection. It's another Pacific. It's a Santa Fe locomotive. This is an old River Rossi. This thing does not work. It has had so many electrical issues. I think the main problem with it is it has pickups on the tender, and the tender pickups are awful. They almost never pick up, and whenever they do, it like barely does anything. This locomotive is just a nightmare to try and get running. Because I have not been able to get this thing running. This thing used to run great. This has traction tires. It's great. But golly, it is just stupid. Thinking I might sell this thing, but I have no idea what to do. I don't know. Maybe I'm just overreacting. I'm just hoping I can get this stupid thing working at some point. I don't know. Here's a funny looking one. This is a Athearn DCC quick plug equipped, undecorated EMD SD45. High hood for some reason. This thing runs great. It just looks awful. I at one point tried painting like the shell, the nose, all the like the main body in this part black, because it was just gray before. But then I started sticking on all the detail parts. None of those were painted, and it just looks like crap, to be honest. It just does not look good. And I haven't even been able to give it that quick plug DCC thing. It's just dumb. Whatever. Moving on. Another SD45. This is a Bachmann Spectrum, so it's the more expensive line. I was actually given this along with this Northern Pacific caboose right here. I'm going to get out of the way now. By one of the members of the train place, who was very kind in giving me this. I really like this locomotive. This is another DCC loco. This, however, does not have sound. It does, however, have a little flashing top light and, of course, motion. But this thing, if pulling a heavy train, it will stall on a hill. Because there's some weird issue with the inside shaft of the motor getting to the worm gears that control the wheels. And so it just will stop and the motor will keep going, but it won't, like, turn the wheels. It's really weird. I think I need to go in and fix it. But, I can probably fix it at some point. Another DCC locomotive. This is a, I'm not entirely sure what brand this is, but this is a EMD F7 and Northern Pacific colors. This one I actually got for just 25 bucks at a model train show. It was actually quite cheap. It was good. It's a good locomotive. It had some issues when I first got it, but those issues have since been amended. I would like to get a brighter light in this thing, because this thing is a bit dim. It doesn't do much. But, yeah. This is a cool locomotive. This is a SD40-2, and it is a custom paint job that I got. I got it with this caboose over here that has the little guy sitting in the train. And it also came with a display board, which was very handy because I was able to display some of my trains while I was at college. It's a really nice locomotive. Personally, I enjoy it. It's got so many intricate details and all of things. It's just really cool. Gonna do two next. These are a couple of trolleys. One of them's, I think, a San Francisco. Yeah, San Francisco Municipal Railway trolley. And then the other one is, I think, just your standard electric trolley. But originally I got two of these from my grandma, but I did not take good care of them. But I eventually was able to find these two, and they worked as replacements. Which, honestly, is just nice, because that's just a little bit of sentiment with those. On to the Thomas stuff next. So far, all I have is this DCC Thomas that I got at a model train show when I was at college. It's not the greatest runner, but it has DCC, and it's just nice to have one of these Bachmann Thomas locomotives. I will actually be getting a special thing for this. It allows me to swap out faces, which that'll be fun. But yeah. And we've got another Thomas that actually came in a set with Annie and Clarabelle. I've already done videos about this thing and Annie and Clarabelle over there. I've already done videos on my Bachmann Thomas stuff, but I figured I might as well show them in this video if I'm going over my collection. And here's the guy that you all seem to love so much. Yeah, Edward. Edward has since the last unboxing video I made, Edward has been upgraded to DCC, which is pretty cool. The Edward video is now up to 11,000 views. Thanks, I guess. I did not expect that this guy right here would just suddenly spike in popularity. It's just hilarious to me. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. And that is pretty much it. That is about every locomotive in my collection. I think, last I checked, there were about 25 locomotives. That's not a ton as many other collections, but that's still quite a bit. Anyways, see all you nut jobs around. Bye.